So as far as the Patriot movement, and that's what LWN is, we are part of many patriots out there searching for the truth and delivering the news like it should be delivered. All right, LWN. LW is now a licensed broker for Miles Franklin. So if you need any help purchasing precious metals, if you need help maybe flipping your 401k over into a self-directed IRA, your pension funds, your retirement, any need, any question that you have, you can reach out to me at lwnreloaded@gmail.com. Would love an opportunity to earn your business and to answer your questions. And hold on, folks. This week's specials, beautiful, beautiful. The silver Buffalo Bull Mint rounds while supplies last, only $2.85 over spot. On one side of the coin, you have two buffaloes, two bulls going head to head. You got a Native American chief on the other side of that coin. Absolutely gorgeous coin for only $2.85 over spot while supplies last. We also have assorted Buffalo silver rounds while supplies last, only $2.65 over spot. Some of the cheapest prices I've seen so far since I've been a broker for Miles Franklin. I have some of these beautiful coins myself. They look just like a Buffalo nickel, where they have a buffalo on one side. They have the Native American on the other side. Just a beautiful, gorgeous coin, only $2.65 over spot. Again, if you're thinking about the things that are going on in the United States of America, in our economy, the things that the Fed has just put out this week, and you're concerned about your 401k, is it going to last? Is the market going to crash? And what does that mean for you? I would be glad to answer those questions for you, for your 401k, for your pension funds, for your retirement. If you have just some cash laying around and you want to know how to invest it, hey, reach out to us right here at Miles Franklin, and we will be glad to answer those questions and help you through it. You can reach me at lwnreloaded@gmail.com. All right, LWN, if you want to know how to get in on the monthly coin giveaway, it's pretty simple. Simple donation will get your name put in the drawing each and every month that we do the coin giveaway. First way to do it is to buy me a coffee. The links are always dropped in chat. So all you have to do is buy me a coffee just once a month, and your name will be put in the drawing for that beautiful coin. And if you are watching us on Facebook, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask, what are stars? How do I donate? How do I get my name put in the drawing? Well, you can purchase Facebook stars, and then it's just like Super Chat or anything else. You can drop a comment in there with the stars. I got away from Super Chat because YouTube was taking over 30% of everything that you guys donated to us here at LWN. So you can buy a star. The stars support the creators, and that is an easy way for you to get your name put in the drawing. Here's some information for you here. Some cost for the stars. You can get 45 stars for 99 cents. You can get 145 stars for $2.99. I think basically each star is like 1 penny. So if you drop 100 stars, that's like $1. So euros, of course, you can buy them anywhere. Put them anywhere you want there in the chat, and that will definitely get your name put in the drawing each and every month for these beautiful coins that we are giving away here at LWN. All right. Welcome back, America. Welcome back to LWN. Boy, LWN is just truly blessed. So many people reaching out to us. There's so many stories. And remember, LWN, we want to unite, educate, and motivate our audience. And tonight I have a great guest for us. First time on the show, and her name is Priscilla Romans, and she is in the medical field. She is here tonight to educate our audience and talk about what happened in 2020 and how her and her husband decided that they were going to go out and create their own business. And what is that business? And what does that do for you, the viewer out there? How does it benefit you? And so I'd like to ask Priscilla to go ahead and join me here on stage. And welcome to LWN, Priscilla. It's such an honor to have you on here. You know, we have a lot of friends in common, and I reached out to a few of them, made contact with them, and they said, hey, would you like to have Priscilla Romans on? And I'm like, absolutely. Anytime that we can educate our audience, I think it makes our audience stronger, and it makes this movement stronger because knowledge is power.
Yes, it is. And thank you for having me on. We've got some good mutual friends in common. And I think what's even better is that the American people and people globally are starting to wake up. One of the key things that changed me in my nursing background is that the healthcare system was just not telling the person all the options and talking about the root cause of the problem. So
And
they kept putting band-aids on things.
though. That's a real common theme in healthcare. Unfortunately, there are doctors out there that want to prescribe you everything under the sun and not really get to the root cause of anything. They just want to mask it with some medication. I'm totally against big pharma. We know what big pharma is and who they support and who they fund. I lean a lot toward the natural remedies of possible herbs, vitamins, boost your own God-given immune system. But in a nutshell, take a few minutes, take as much time as you'd like. Could you please tell my audience a little bit about your background, who you are, where you came from, a little bit about this company that you and your husband decided that you were going to start up in 2020, and why did you start it up?
Yeah, so number one, the healthcare system sucks. So we thought it's really good to have an advocate to be able to help people along the way. So my name's Priscilla Romans. I'm a mom of four, got 4 kids, 2 teenagers and 2 little ones. So I'm busy being a mom. And my husband is, he saw me struggling in my corporate healthcare job, just seeing me not be fulfilled and really helping people, because I went into nursing to help people. That was the point of becoming a nurse. And, you know, I got my bachelor's, my RN with my BSN, and then I worked in a pediatric intensive care unit. So if you can imagine taking care of a 6-pound baby, it's really big, really small, and they're going for heart surgery because they have one side of a heart. Okay. These were some of the primary babies and pediatric patients that I took care of. They will come back with an open chest. You could see their heart beating. These were the critical situations in the pediatric ICU that I worked in for many, many years. And I learned right there how you have to really have great bedside manner, how you've really got to be informed. You've got to act quick. You've got to be professional. You've got to help through delicate conversations with the family. When their baby is on a heart-lung machine, on what we call ECMO, to help their life be sustained while the body is doing its process of healing, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Well, we know this in the big healthcare system, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And think about how scary it is for those parents going through that, seeing their child with an open chest. I learned, how do you communicate with the family? How do you be prepared for when things go wrong? You got to be quick. If you're the nurse at the bedside, you got to know how to make things happen. You got to know what's going on, and you know how to communicate with the intensive care doctors and the surgeons. So I learned a lot in the ICU as my foundation of nursing. And from there, I went and got my master's in nursing leadership through Health Business Systems. And I grew from there. I learned about how the payer system works how people go into the hospital. Why is that an outpatient?
Can you stop for just a minute? What did
Yeah,
you call that? You called it the pair system?
yeah, the payer system. So how
How
I love
how do you spell that?
payer, PAYER system. So it's how, let's say, for example, I'll give you an example, how somebody has insurance. How does insurance pay for that hospital visit? It's called utilization review.
Okay.
And what happens is when you go into the hospital and go, let's say a family member goes in the emergency room, doctors check you out and they go, all right, we're gonna keep you overnight. The question there from an insurance payer standpoint, who's paying for that insurance? Most people have commercial insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, or they're self-pay, right? There are those options. Under an insurance payer plan, they want to know if you meet criteria,
Yep.
which is intensity of service and severity of illness. There's two things. And then they click boxes. Yes, they click boxes in healthcare and they say, this one meets for you for observation. This one meets for inpatient. They can get a bed in the hospital. Congratulations. But there's about a $6,000 to $10,000 difference as to what happens whether you're observation or you're inpatient. Why is it important people know this? Is because they never know when they go to the emergency room. They go, oh, I'm just in the hospital. Guess what? You're going to get a bill too. And you better know if you're observation or if you're inpatient. Now, it all goes down to the first order. Okay. The first order that the doctor writes is where it is at. Okay. Now they can always change observation to inpatient, but you can never change it from inpatient to observation because of
Gotcha.
how the pain goes. Okay. So these are things that I picked up. I used to teach residents how to write their first order. Like, so it's kind of like in my nature. And it was fun to actually learn and to figure out, oh, this is what meets inpatient criteria. This is how you do it. And knowing this now, and I hated all the jobs. Okay. I'll just tell your audience, I'm a transparent person. I just tell it like it is. I hated my jobs because I always felt like, well, why are we doing it that way? Can't we do it this way? Because this would be so much better for the patient and family.
Yeah.
Can't we tell them about other options like maybe high dose vitamin C or all these other great things? No, no, no. You can't tell them that when you're in the job world in the healthcare system. So that was a great experience. I went and ran a hospice region as well. So I've got outpatient experience. And then I helped run population health, which is a fancy word that they figure out how to pay these big healthcare, big insurance companies, big bonus money
Oh,
for, yeah, it was really interesting through the
just what they
accountable
need,
care.
more bonuses.
More, right, just more. That was back in when the accountable care organization, when people hear about Obamacare,
Mhm.
those type of years, the ACO, Accountable Care Organization, was happening. And I worked for one of the hospitals that was one of the pioneer programs that not only started, but actually got paid a lot of bonuses. And I was in those meetings going, oh, that's how Blue Cross is getting those bonuses. Oh, wow, this is really happening. Okay.
So buckle up, folks. Buckle
Yeah,
up. Priscilla's going to
yes.
spill the beans. She is here to educate you guys tonight. So please pay attention because I am learning already just that first little part of checking a patient in, what it means to be under observation or be inpatient. There might be some stuff that you guys learned tonight that could save you money. So just pay attention tonight. So go ahead, Priscilla.
Yeah, I love saving people money. I'm a mom. So we got to save money here. Us moms do. Those kids are expensive. And so, I mean, my background, the reason I explain all of these different experiences is I never understood why God was moving me in all of these ways.
Mhm.
And when we moved from Illinois to Texas in 2017, I got picked up by one of the very large healthcare insurance agencies in the state of Texas. And I worked for the Big Blue. And I was deemed with launching a 500,000 live membership program for the state of Texas that was similar to my population health experience that I previously had. And I thought, oh, this is great. We're going to be able to help people get things covered, get things paid. I mean, remember, I was a believer in people like just getting help, right? Let's
Yeah.
just help them. And I kept seeing all these different things. Well, I lasted there 6 months because I got kicked and cornered after I was at a huge executive table because I saw that they weren't paying or approving for surgeries for people like I thought they should. They were making it very hard for people to get an approved surgery, approved through insurance so they could go get it done. And I'm thinking, why are we making it so complicated? This is wrong. Well, after I got kicked and cornered, I could not, I was not tolerating that behavior or being treated like that. So I resigned, and I never have resigned without having another job. It was just something I was born and raised. My parents would say, okay, if you're going to make sure you have another plan before you ever leave,
Yep.
all of those. Nope. I was out. I was done. I was like, I can't do this. These people are corrupt. I'm in the state of Texas. I have no clue what the hell is going on down here. Up in Illinois, I worked at a Catholic institution where they still had nuns. Now I'm going to tell you, I love Catholic people, but I got to tell you, the nuns in that place went corporate on me. They just did. I'm just saying it. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But what was happening, even in that healthcare system that I know now, because I have lots of friends and family that still live there, they don't want to go there because of the protocols that they took away people's rights. And it really ticks me off that happened in the place that I originated my nursing. Okay, so that's just a little side tidbit about me. But I left the Big Blue and then ran into my last corporate gig, which I was running 29 state Medicaid programs for waste, fraud, and abuse. So if you've ever heard about casualty and estates and probate and how all that works in the healthcare system, my mind was like, what is happening? What is happening in the space of, there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse. It made me sick what was happening. And I was dealing with these state governments, New Jersey, Arizona, Maricopa County. I'm going to tell you, way more issues in Maricopa County besides elections. I'm just telling you that. The healthcare system is a disaster. It's like a pure disaster. And we were trying to get funds from the company I was working, trying to make sure we collected the funds to go back into the Medicaid system, because the Medicaid system is so broken. Some of these healthcare places aren't getting paid back for like 10 years for the work they did. That, like, you talk about a collapsing system. How sustainable is that? It's not. And you don't even get good care when you get Medicaid. I think those people should get better care. They're struggling. They're struggling, and the taxpayers are paying for this, and they get crappy doctors. It's a bunch of crap. And we know that the insurance company is not paying for all the things that they should be paying for. So what we believe here in GRATHCARE, when we launched it in March of 2020, and when I say we, it was me, my supportive husband, and my 4 kids. I did this all by myself for the first year.
Can you tell the audience where you got the name GRATHCARE?
Yeah, Grace is actually my 2 girls' names, Grace and Faith. And if people go to our website, you'll see my family. I've got 4 kiddos. I didn't leave the boys out, but the girls' names, Grace and Faith, are GRATH put together. And the word GRATH, if you look it up, it means to prepare and make ready. And that is exactly what we do with patient advocacy and medical freedom here at GRATHCARE. People call us, they say, I have a problem. Here's what it is. I have insurance questions. I have a bill I can't pay. I have a loved one in the hospital. I think I might need to go to the hospital, but I'm really scared. What do I do? I'm going to get an elective procedure done, but I don't want to get blood that's vaccinated. These are the questions we get every single day, and we have to go find the solutions. Now, I'm going to tell you, some of the solutions are a lot harder than what it sounds. We are working in a very corrupt system. So you've got to be very smart with how you navigate. We're not aggressive people, but we sure know how to turn when we need to go find another option, because you've got to know how to negotiate within the system, and you've got to be very strong with how to proceed for your health and wellness. And just say no to the shots. You don't need any shots. You've got a God-given DNA. Amen. And God bless America. We need to protect it.
So you have had like myself, a very colorful career. You've been in many different facets of the medical field. Like me, I went out and I did track homes, multi-million dollar custom homes, commercial buildings, commercial projects, service work, oil and gas, coal. So I'm very well rounded in in the electrical field. Um, and it sounds like you've had a similar path. You've kind of been able to get a little bit of everything and understand all of it. Then here comes 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. You know, the Chinese virus was on its way here, and you and your husband took a leap of faith, um, and decided to start your own business. And your business is tailored to answer hard questions and to help people navigate through a lot of the hard decisions that they have to make in the medical field. And you just brought up a few of them there, which is surgeries. I don't want to take any blood that's been vaccinated. Um, do I need to go see the doctor? We also talked off camera about you also helping people who have been in the medical system. And, you know, in 2020 and 2021, really, that was a big scare for a lot of us. And we were always preaching all the time, don't let your family go to the hospital. And if they do go to the hospital and they get basically, in my opinion, kidnapped, we were yelling and screaming at everybody to yank their family out of the hospital, which I did with my mother. My mother lost one of her brothers last year to it, and her sister went all the way to Oregon to go see them, and because they would not follow their protocol, they couldn't go see them. And on top of it, a lot of times it seems that once they get them in their care, they won't let them out. It's almost like prison. So you're also here to help people through that hard situation.
Yeah, that's I love your point. And I need your listeners to make sure you share this because I understand why you said that, okay? To say just get them out of the hospital, right? And we had many people that were doing that. However, we need to make sure, from my point of view, when we do go to leave the hospital, that we have a plan in place. We understand what you've got to be prepared. Because I'll give you an example. One gentleman, the family wanted to take their loved one out of the hospital. He was really critical, extremely critical. Vital signs were not good. He was not stable. He did not have anything. And they just called and said, you need to help us get out of the hospital right now. Whoa, 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 slow up. We need to look at some things first. We need to do a review of the labs, the diagnostics. Let's see what medications are on board. Just relax. Let's look at it. You need a professional to understand what is happening, because if you're gonna leave and there's no other hospital around and you start to crump, where are you going back to?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Great
So
point.
it's very important. I mean, I said, all right, you guys can go. But if you go home and he tanks, I am not there and I cannot provide oxygen to him, you're gonna have to go back. Or you could potentially die at home. I'm just going to be honest with you. So if we want to be smart about this, we need to calm down and we need to take one step at a time. And that's why exactly I grew Great Care, because we have intensive care advocates that understand how to do things properly, how to set things up. Is this really a safe thing? And there are some people that you should not be leaving AMA. We can mitigate, we can say no to other things. We can fire doctors. Look, there's other options. We don't need we don't need drama. We need calm, logical decisions to protect the patient in the bed. Okay. And
But
I
you
understand
you
isolation because we've
use
dealt with it.
you've also made comment that you've helped clients fire their doctor and replace them with a better doctor. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we fired up to 6 doctors at a hospital and they go, we don't have anybody else. So I'm like, yeah, you guys are really that bad. Like it's bad. So we've had to even have the option of flying people out of the hospital to a better option in order to receive pulmonary critical care. So there are better protocols. And a lot of people would call and go, oh, my doctor, they won't use the MAP Plus protocol. I'm like, Congratulations, you're in a hospital. They're not going to listen to anybody's protocol that's not in their algorithm. There's very few hospitals that was doing it. But what we can do is we say, let's look at what's happening currently. Let's see if we can implement some of the more priority items. Let's work with the physician and collaborate. And we did. We had physicians that would go, you know what? I can do that. I actually will change that steroid dose. Oh, you know what? We can do that vitamin C. And we literally had one doctor go, wait a minute, that sounds great. I mean, to do ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, IV. But he goes, I got to be honest with you. I don't even know how to write that order. I was like, well, I can help you. Right? You just have to sign. And we have to make sure your pharmacy has it and all, so forth. So, because that is not something normally they were taught. But we did have good physicians we ran into that would go, you know what? That is a good idea. We might have missed that. It could be his heart. We had one out of an Atlanta hospital, out of Emory, which is very connected to the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia. They called, he's in his 90s. The daughter called and says, look, my dad's really bad. They're saying it's COVID. I don't know what to do. They're not letting us in. It's bad. And I said, okay, well, let's see what's going on. He was super confused and he's in his young 90s. And I'm like looking at all the information going, something is just not right. This is not COVID. This isn't COVID. So we do talk with the physicians if the family wants us to. And I had a great conversation with the doctor and he goes, you know what? I kind of think you're right. He goes, let's do changes. Let's look at his heart. We looked at his heart. He had fluid around the heart, which was causing the respiratory symptoms. And we changed a couple things. Within 3 days, his oxygen was cut down 50%. And the following day, we discharged him home. He's home today. I talk to them about every week because they're long-term clients of us because they just want to keep everybody good and safe at home. It's a 5-minute conversation, but how good is that to have an advocate give you peace of mind to know that you're on the right track? And what do you need to say and do to make it happen?
I think it's a blessing from God and it's priceless, to be honest with you, because even myself, I have, so many questions when it comes to medical. I get overwhelmed. I throw my hands up and I just say, nah, I ain't going to go, and my fiance is always bugging me to go to the doctor for things. And I try to stay as far away as I possibly
Men
can.
are the worst.
But there
Men
are
do
times
not like to do that.
I just never been fond of going to the doctor for any reason unless I'm dying. So I try to stay away from that. Here are some questions that I was writing down as you were speaking, because I think it's I think what a great conversation, what a great company. Folks, please reach out to Priscilla here and go to hashtag grateful and to the GRAITHCARE.com, and the phone number we'll have everything in the description below to contact Priscilla, and you guys can reach out to her and ask questions. She's there for you. So here's some of the questions that I came up with. I know that you started in 2020 and things go slow, but it sounds like you hit the ground running. How many people are on staff right now in your organization?
Yeah, we have up to 30 advocates across the states and internationally.
Are you serious? You got like 30 people across the United States helping?
Yep, they're advocates.
Amazing.
Yep, I brought them on, and an international advocate as well that has cultural competencies across globally, because those systems are different. So we even have clients currently in Canada, Australia, Spain, Greece. Baby Will case out of New Zealand, they called GRATHCARE for help. We got a call over the weekend from Greece and Jamaica. And I don't know, the words just, people are just sharing and they go, we need help. We don't know what to do.
Please share this video out.
What?
To all of my audience, Like,
Yes.
subscribe, and please share this video out so more people can find Priscilla and her company. They're advocates for you, the patients out there, the clients that have all the questions about doctors and billing and all that stuff. These people are wonderful. So you have 30 people on staff all across the United States and a couple,
And,
one international.
yep. And one comment on those advocates. So I brought them on, but every single one of them is very unique to this. So we have neonatal advocates, pediatrics, adult, ICU, insurance advocates, a holistic nutrition advocate, physical therapy, occupational therapy. Remember, we as a person, we have holistic needs. So we've got to be able to fill in the gap when something else happens to, and we share clients. We'll tap on the other advocate and say, look, I'm not good with insurance. You need to go get this taken care of for my person, right? So we're providing a service that's very unique.
Absolutely. Here's my next question, because a huge percentage of my audience are on Medicaid and Medicare. So what advocate do you have, and how do they specialize in Medicaid and Medicare? I know listeners are tuned in right now because we're talking about this topic. What are the things that you can help my listeners when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, when they go to schedule a doctor's appointment, go see a doctor, have a procedure? I don't know, physicals. What are the things that you can help when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare?
Yeah, so we have a lot of people that just think everything has to go through insurance. That's the number one. It's a falsehood. You don't even have to have things go through insurance if you really want to get it done and off label. Okay. So right now we have people going to get hyperbaric done, hyperbaric oxygen. And that is considered off label if you go through the right place. So for example, there's a lot of insurance companies that won't approve it because of the code, the diagnosis code. It's called an ICD-10. And if you're not coded correctly with the diagnosis, it doesn't get approved. But that shouldn't stop people. We should say, you know what? Is there another way we can get this done? And I'm like, yeah, there is actually. We could go get cash price. We can negotiate. We can say, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best option right now. Let's try this other option because you're financially tight. Okay. We do that all the time. There's options, and that's the goal of this. So Medicare, Medicaid, just know you do have other options. You don't have to stay locked down. Don't fear it. If you've got questions, we can hook you up with an advocate to even know if your policy is a good policy. We have a client right now, his Medicare is going to be changing here at the end of March. He's worried. Is that even going to be a good plan for his needs? He's got complex healthcare needs. And we do want to use insurance to the greatest extent. However, we have a lot of people that call us going, do I have to have insurance? No, you don't. You don't have to pay a commercial insurance $18,000 for a premium and hit a $10,000 deductible to feel better and get no better health care, right? That is a fear tactic that we have been trained. We tell our kids, you're going to go to college, you're going to get a job, you're going to get good benefits, and you're going to be okay. That's nothing but a big old lie in the healthcare system. They're going to get they're going to be paying premiums of probably $20,000, and they're only going to get a controlled system to tell them where they can go get their stuff done and only what they can get. And guess what? They're going to have to pay for all of their immune support out of pocket because insurance doesn't cover it. And we all know why they don't cover it, because it would make some good sense for your body to have it. There's a reason. So we want people to explore their options. And with Medicare and Medicaid and commercial insurance, if you're getting a medical bill in the mail, I want you to hold it. Do not pay the first bill. There's going to be other ones that show up. There's actually a great book out there. It says, why not to pay your first medical bill? Because the hospital will send you on, the anesthesiologist, the radiologist, and you'll go, what do I do with all of these bills? There's double coding it. Yeah, like double payments in there. They screw that stuff up all the time. We had one gentleman in Ohio, went to a Cleveland clinic, was there in the emergency room for 2 hours. They charged him $13,000. We got him a great resource. $0 bill because he didn't need to pay any of it, but he didn't know if he didn't have an advocate. So what I'm saying is bring it on, bring your healthcare issues, bring what you're scared about to us and say, can you help us? We do a membership at GRATHCARE. So you can get a package, 1 hour of advocacy, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever it might be. It's a membership plan. So you just call when you need. And that's how I pay my staff. A lot of these staff are frustrated with the healthcare system. They had to leave their job. They didn't like the mandates. They're sick and tired of the old beaten up system. And so that's why they're a part of GRATHCARE. And it's so great to have freedom fighters a part of this. And you know Dr. Artis, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So Dr. Artis does reviews for our GRATHCARE clients as well. So a lot of people go,
Awesome.
I really like Dr. Artis. Can he review my problems? And we match them with an advocate. The advocate goes through a very detailed, comprehensive review. We hand that all over to Dr. Artis. He does a review and he actually sends back a personal message to them, to that client saying, wow, here's what you should do from my perspective in reading all of this. And we're getting the coolest things back where people are no longer on their medications, their thyroid's better, their prostate's better. They've got so much more hope because they had options that were given to them that they never knew about. And we're talking people that have had issues for 30, 40 years.
So you brought up charges on the bill, and this is something that I always found very disturbing. You go to the hospital, and if the doctor prescribes you like 2 aspirin, they want to charge you like $400 for 2 aspirin, because what I heard, and I'm not in the medical field, nor do I pretend to be or play one on TV, but I heard that they charge you enough for like a whole case of aspirin. And so if they prescribe you certain things, they're overcharging you like crazy. What can you tell us about that aspect of the medical field?
Well, there's inflation in healthcare, just like your eggs. So this is just how it is. The billing and coding of it, it's different all over the place. So people go, why can't I know what the cost is up front? No. This is healthcare. They will just give it to you on the other end. It's like the worst enema that you could ever get. You know, it's like, really, did that show up on my bill? I don't even understand what that was. And you can't even get some of these billing departments on the phone because they're third parties.
Yep.
You can't, like, the system is so hard for people to navigate. We have one of our advocates on a bill with a client that's up in the north, and she's going, I'm not paying any of this. These people didn't do anything for my husband, and I am going to go after them. And so the advocate's helping her work through all the billing issues, because if you don't pay the bill, they'll send you to medical collections. Then you're in a medical collections nightmare. So there's a strategy of keeping medical collections off your back. You don't want them on your back, because then what happens when you go to buy a house or do a refinance, it'll come up and you can't get that done.
Okay. How about, I had somebody on just a while back who's a journalist, and they did a piece on the medical paperwork that they always tell you, be here, 30 minutes early, especially if you're a new client, to sit down and fill out all this paperwork. Even on tablets nowadays, it's all check the box. And she is warning people to really read the fine print and pay attention to those documents. And I'm grateful that I met you, Priscilla, and have you to maybe explain some of this, because she put out the warning as a journalist to beware of some of these documents that you sign before you go see the doctor. But what can your advocates do for my listeners tonight? What kind of warning can you tell them? Can you give us any more detail on that? Because she's claiming that you're actually giving them some permissions that we weren't aware of that will allow them to do things that we may or may not want them to do. So could you maybe give us some information on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be those signage sheets, those, when you go into the doctors or you go into the emergency department and they're having you sign those waivers, right? Mm-hmm. We know in some of the emergency rooms, they were changing some of the verbiages in there. And it's such small print and there's so much information. But remember, these people are in the emergency room. They're like, just help me.
Yeah, a lot of us don't read it. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I don't even read through it. I just sign it because I need help, and I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're not even in your right mind to even read down through all the documentation because you're either in pain or your brain's foggy or you're completely sick or whatever. So how dangerous can some of these documents be?
Well, some of them there's some gray room to them, I think. And they're just trying to cover their backs with what could potentially go wrong in their office, right? That they don't have any liability with it. And not everybody is truthful on those papers as well, because some people don't even want to tell them all their information
True.
because they're afraid their information is going to be misused. I mean, we have people calling going, well, I put on it that I've gotten the Pfizer vaccine, but I haven't gotten it, but I just didn't want them to treat me differently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the concept. That's what people are struggling with. What to do, what to say. Do I have patient rights? Yes, you still have patient rights, and you've got to know what to say and do. And I would say in the first place, why are you going to the doctor? If you're going to go to the doctor, you need to have a plan. What are you going to get out of that visit? Are you going to go sit there and have them be there in there for 5-10 minutes and you don't get anything accomplished? If you're going to go to a doctor, if you're going to go to a hospital, you go and you get something done because you have a healthcare need, and you better know what you want done and what you don't want done. So that's exactly why we like to do planning in advance. So the paperwork, I would just say, yes, the fine print is good to read. You might not understand it. You could ask your advocate about it and say, does this make sense? Do I have to sign this? I would even question that. Do you have to sign it? You'd be surprised at some things that you really don't have to sign.
Hmm.
So it's important to make sure you know your rights. But healthcare is a foreign language. And that's exactly why our clients love us. If they go to our Facebook page, they'll see testimonials. We got in from, there was one of our clients, the gentleman wrote into us saying, I just wanted to let you know how great Gail, our advocate, was. She brought peace of mind to the hospital situation. We didn't know some of the things of what to say. And she told us that everything actually was looking very good. The doctors were doing a good job for the diagnosis, and we've got good next steps. And she, that is amazing. I posted the email on the Facebook. I took the names out, of course, to hide that. But I want people to know these are the things we get every single day. So it's no surprise when he said, this gives me peace of mind. Yeah, that's exactly the point. It's kind of like this. You're an electrician, right? People would come to you because you know how to do electrician. They trust you, right? There's a whole, you understand all the tricks and trades. That's what we do with advocacy, is you call us when you have a healthcare question. Doesn't matter what it is, we just go figure it out. And we know a lot of the great answers. And not only do we have Dr. Artis, a part of GRATHCARE, that does reviews, but we have Dr. Henry Elay. And if you haven't had him on your show, you should. He's a naturopathy that has a vaccine injury clinic that he sees people in. But people come to GRATHCARE just to get him to review, because he talks about red blood cell detoxification. Because if you can fix the blood cell level, a lot of the health and wellness issues that you're experiencing are right there at the root, right? Red blood cells, the oxygen, energy at the cellular level is super important to how you feel.
That's just amazing. I absolutely have loved this time that we're spending together. It's a lot to take in at first. It's kind of like the first time that I had Andy on here for Miles Franklin, and he started talking about the economy and how stocks work and just everything. It's mind blowing. It's very mind blowing the first time, but I believe in repetition, and I would love to have you scheduled to come back on again, because I think the more that you really talk about this, and we can dive deeper into maybe other issues, and maybe we even do a call-in show where we take a couple of questions. We used to do that in the past as well. I think I'm learning right now, like, it's important to have somebody on your side. And a lot of times when you go to the doctor, you don't feel like you have anybody on your side. Now, some people have great relationships with doctors that they've been seeing for a very long time, and that is very unique. And I don't know if that happens for everybody. It's never really happened for me. I've traveled around so many times. I've never really had a real doctor per se for home care for me, or for family care, or whatever you call it. I've seen so many different doctors over the years. I always seem like I feel like I'm going it alone. So to be able to reach out to one of your advocates, and get counseling before you go, to come up with a plan before you go see the doctor. And then if you get there and you start running into some snags, make another call, have an advocate even talk to the doctor for you in your behalf, and then turn around at the end of the visit, you receive your bill. And if you still have questions, you can call the advocate back and they can walk you through it, explain it, and help you through the situation. I mean, that to me is a relationship that I hope my audience is really paying attention to, and maybe investigates this a little bit, and reach out to you guys and have the conversation. So let's talk about cost, because membership, and one-time fees, or just, can you give us a little bit of the breakdown of how this works? If a person only needed to call you one time, or like you said, if they wanted a membership for 1 hour or 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever, however that all breaks down, could you explain that to the audience, please?
Yeah, I'm a very simple person, so I like it really easy for people to get up and started with an advocate. So you just go to the Great Care website. There's a pricing tab. Magically, our pricing is right there in front of you. It's that easy. We're that transparent. Imagine that. Can you imagine a healthcare system actually having a menu of items that you can see the price that goes with it?
That would be nice. That's a quick, easy click of the button, and you see what
Yeah.
you need, and you figure out what your need is, if it's 1 hour or 2 hours or 4 hours.
And our intake specialist does help people with that too, because people go, well, how much do you think I'll need for this type of problem? And what's really cool about there is no time expiration on your membership. So if you get up and going with 8 hours, which is which it is cheaper on the hourly rate to do a 4 hour or an 8 hour bundle, because it just makes sense. You're purchasing more time up front, so we give a discount for that. We have people that purchased 8 hours last summer. They still have advocacy time remaining. So if something new pops up, do you think they're going to call?
So
Yeah.
is this an annual membership? I guess my question would be, does this, or is
No.
this a monthly membership, and how does that kind of?
Yeah. So let's say you needed an advocate, but you have maybe a couple family members, a couple kids, a church person, and you want to put them all on one membership. So let's say there's 5 people on one membership. You can do that. Let's say you said, you know what, I want 8 hours for our people on my membership. Everybody gets a case. We have a time collector. So if one person does 30 minutes, other person does 30 minutes, right? It just deducts from your time.
Mhm.
If your time runs out, you're like, well, can I get more time? Yeah, you can get more time. It's easy. If you don't use all of your time, you just use it when you need it. There's no time expiration. It literally, you use it when you need it. And
So
that's the piece
if
of it.
I understand correctly, Priscilla, a guy like me who doesn't go to the doctor often, if I purchased 8 hours for myself, say today, and next month I go see the doctor, and I need you guys to hold my hand, and I spend an hour of that advocacy, that leaves me 7 hours. If I don't go, you're telling me if I don't go see the doctor again for say 2 more years or 3 more years, I still have 7 hours left on my membership? Is that how
Yeah,
that works?
yeah, but I would probably say you spending a little bit of time with an advocate talking about some of your health and wellness questions would be very important to do proactively to put a plan in place. Or we get Dr. Artis or Dr. Elay to review some of your issues. We just
Mhm.
had a gentleman that has had prostate issues. I'm not saying you have prostate issues, but men, they have questions about their prostate. And this gentleman was having a lot of issues, peeing all night long, all sorts of issues that he's been putting off. And he is just so glad that he got Dr. Artis to review his issues, because now he's not peeing all the time. And he feels like, oh, my PSA is coming back down. I can't believe I took this natural remedy. This is amazing. It's not a pharmaceutical. This is working for me. Look, you don't want to sit on problems. And one of the worst calls we get is when somebody goes, I wish I would have known about you sooner. So
That is amazing. I guess the point to my question was it never runs out, folks. You purchase what you need, and if you buy the bundle, um, I'm just saying in my circumstances, I don't go to the doctor very often, so it always be there for me. For people who go to their doctor once a year, annually, or even more than that, it's always there for you. And once you use it up, you can always purchase more, and you don't have to buy the big bundle. You can buy a smaller bundle, or you can get a 1 hour, 2 hour. So what I'm trying to say to the audience is it seems like this thing can work for pretty much anybody in any situation, no matter how little you go see the doctor, no matter how much you go see the doctor.
some
and
people don't see
and
the doctor.
yeah. And it just seems like it's something there that is to help and not to take advantage of people, not something that you're paying on every month and never use it. I have a plan like that with the chiropractor where I pay $20 a month for a flex plan, and then if I don't go see the chiropractor, I'm still spending $20 a month. So that cost me several $100s a year. And if I only go to the chiropractor a couple of times a year, that's, to me, it's almost a waste. So this doesn't seem like, I guess my point would be, this is not a wasteful membership. It is tailored to your needs.
Yep, your time is only your time that you purchase is only deducted when the advocate's working on your case, right? Talking with you, talking with the doctor, writing up a plan. Maybe they're sending you some action steps. Maybe they're doing all the research for you, right? Helping you get through some things. That takes time to do some of the work that we do. And I think that takes off the pressure off of people going, okay, now I can get this done and moved on a little bit quicker.
So you've got some very happy clients. I can hear that. What about the hospital staff over this time that you guys have been out there in the field, boots on the ground, working with them? How happy, or what kind of relationship, I should say, what kind of relationship do you have with most of them? Are they grateful to have an advocate that is a voice between the client and the doctor and the staff, to where you guys are helping them understand and making this process easier, or do they fight this?
Yeah, we have a mixture. We have more that are just so glad that the patient has hired an independent advocate for them, because a lot of people will even call and go, well, the hospital has an advocate for me. I'm like, that advocate works for the hospital.
Mhm.
So they're not going to tell you everything that we're going to tell you. Trust me. So there's that huge difference. So we're independent to the patient. But what's really great is those doctors and those nurses within the system, they don't do the legwork that we do, because they're stuck in a system. They're going from patient to patient to patient. And once you're out of there, they don't think about you again. So that's really important. But we have doctors that have not been happy with some of the advocacy because we're demanding things that really do need to be done. And we've called them out on safety issues. There's been some huge safety issues. We had one hospital in Fort Worth that we found ants in the bed. And for a elderly man, ants in the bed, and they have not bathed the patient for weeks. No bath, no bath.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question before we roll into final thought here. How does your company deal with family members? And some of us have family members that are in senior housing, or facilities like that. Like my aunt is in a facility like that. Do you guys also help family members deal with their family members that are in facilities like that, senior housing and nursing homes and stuff like that? Because you bringing up the comment that this gentleman hadn't had a bath in quite a while, that reminds me of a nursing home and some of the practices that they have.
Yeah, for without a doubt, we help those people We actually are vetting out for one of our clients in the Dallas area. We're vetting out assisted livings. What's the appropriate assisted living? Do they actually have all the amenities that the person wants? Is the pricing right? Are they going to screw them over on cost with all these extras? Look, people don't know all of these things, so we want to prepare them for all of their options. So in those facilities, is it a skilled facility? Is insurance paying for it? When are they not covered anymore? How does it get covered? These are things that the lay person doesn't understand. So we put an advocate that does have that experience. And I rely heavily on one of my advocates. She's got a PTOT background, physical therapy, occupational, with case management background, and she is sharp. She knows all the things of how to navigate the facility. I'm like, God bless America. You go after it. You get this taken care of for them.
So you guys can handle anything from infant care all the way up to a nursing home for our loved ones. So what a wonderful service that you offer to people. And as we roll into final thought tonight, again, unify, educate, and motivate. Wow, my computer screen just went black for a minute. Good thing it didn't die there. I don't know what was going on with that. But unify, educate, and motivate. And I think this evening has been one of those education moments. We're rolling up over 50 minutes here on getting to know Priscilla Romans and her wonderful organization called GRAITH CARE.
Yeah, Great Care.
I've learned a lot in this hour, to be honest with you. I've learned quite a bit. And again, I would like to invite you to come back and have another conversation with us now that the audience has gotten to know you and kind of know a little bit about your company. I think it would be a great time to come back and let's dive a little bit deeper and talk about maybe some of the cases that you've had. So what would be your final thought for tonight? What would you like to leave my audience knowing about GRAITH CARE or yourself or any of your advocates?
Yeah, well, I really just want everybody to have hope. I mean, there's a lot of confusion and fear and anxiety out there, and especially when it comes to people's health and wellness. And what I'd love to say is it's going to be fine. You've got to know your options. There's great solutions out there. That just to have hope. Fear is deadly. So we need to take that out of the picture, and we need to work on your needs one step at a time. And don't skip things. Just relax, take a deep breath. And healthcare sucks. And we just say, get an advocate. We're excited to help you.
That is awesome. And I like your comment about taking fear out of the situation, because a lot of people, including myself at times, have had fear when we need to go see the doctor for whatever reason. And it would be nice to have somebody like you and like your staff that's on our side that can help find the answers to those questions and feel like we actually have somebody on our side. Because like you said, the hospital advocates, they're there for the hospital. They're not really there for the client. And so thank you so much for joining us this evening, Priscilla. Much appreciated. Great to get to meet you for the first time. And like I said, I would love for you to come back on the show multiple times and give us an update and just continue to educate our audience. With that being said, folks, have a wonderful evening. Please reach out to Priscilla at thegraithcare.com. I'll have all the links and all the descriptions below, and the mods will be dropping those links for you as well. So God bless each and every one of you, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, Liberty Warrior Nation, welcome to Saturday night. We have an afterglow for you over on Liberty Cowgirl Network. It's Saturday Night Spotlight, hosted by Liberty Cowgirl, featuring real people, real emotions, and real information. Links are being dropped in the chat as we speak. Hey, if you're not done with Saturday night, why not hop over there and support a great patriot, Liberty Cowgirl, and the Liberty Cowgirl Network? Like, subscribe to her, jump in the chat. Have a great Saturday night as we're wrapping it up here at LWN. Liberty Warrior Nation, if you missed it last time, it's back. The biggest bed sheet sale ever. The Giza Dream Sheets, the bed sheets as low as $29.99 using promo code LWN. You could save up to 50% off. Don't forget, Mike Lindell and My Pillow have some of the best products out there. He has My Coffee, My Slippers. He's got bedding for dogs. He's got the bath towel sets. Lots of great products out there for every Patriot. And if you'd like to support Mike Lindell in return, supporting him also supports me here at LWN. Like I said, use promo code LWN. You could save up to 50% off the Giza bed sheets, $29.99.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out.